Hey guys, I'm Chris Anderson. Welcome back to another video. Today we're going to talk about Python lists. So let's get into it. Let's see, the first thing, let's create a new directory called lists. And let's open up Visual Studio Code. And I want to create a new file where we're going to work with lists. Let's call this, well, we'll call it list.py. All right, so just a little overview of what lists are. So lists will allow you to store kind of like multiple items into one variable. And what I mean by that, let's say we create a list of, let's do sports. So sports is going to be the variable, and I want to put a bunch of sports in my list. So we'll do that with square brackets, and we'll use the parentheses there, and sorry, not parentheses, the double quotes. And we'll go soccer, basketball, football, golf, and let's go baseball. All right, so what I've done is I've made a list that includes a bunch of sports, and my list is called sports. So if we go ahead and print this, if we print sports, we should see all of these items in my list. So let's go ahead and run that and see what we get here. Okay, so you can see we have our list: soccer, basketball, football, golf, baseball. So it's printing our list. That's one way to declare a list. You could also use what's called the like a list constructor, and we could say, let's go my sports, and we could do this with like the double round brackets here instead of the square brackets, and we'll put the same thing in here. Actually, maybe I'll just copy and paste this to save some time. Yeah, okay, so that looks pretty good there. And let's go ahead and print my sports. And this, oh, sorry. One thing I forgot is we have to use list here. That's the constructor. And when we run that, we should get both lists identical. See, we got soccer, basketball, football, golf, baseball, and the same thing underneath. So these are two ways to create your lists. So a brief overview. So a list, it's considered ordered, and what ordered means is that it has a specific order, and when I print it back, that order is not going to change. And if I add a new item, it'll be added to the end of the list. So each item that we put in here has a specific position in this list. So, you know, if I print this again, it's not going to start with football and then soccer and then baseball. It'll always be ordered in the way that we put it in there. Also, a list can contain, so our sports, they're all strings. But you could also have a list. Let's make a new list, my list. Let's keep it consistent. My list equals, and you could have integers along with strings, and along with booleans. So you can have a list with multiple items in there. And if we print that, we'll get the same thing. So we get the list printed back to us. Some other things to note with the list. So with variable types, you could print what the type is. So if we go type, and let's just do sports, and let's get rid of these other lists. Okay, you see we have a class of list here. So once you declare it with these square brackets, we can see the class type is list, not, you know, string, not boolean, not integer. So it knows that this is a list. Some other things I can show with the list, you could see the, let's see, maybe length of the list. So let's say maybe you want to know how many items are in here, and you could use len, and let's see, so 5, and yeah, there's 5 items in our list here. And so you can see down here, once I ran the program, it spit out a 5 because there's 5 items in our list. So that's a few things you could do with a list. Now let's take this a step further, and let's say we want to grab some items from this list. So we got our list of sports, but we want to get a specific item from the list. Now, how we do that, we're going to print, and then we're going to take the sports list. We're going to give a square bracket here, and then we're going to give the position of the item that we want. And so with the list, the positions start with an index of 0. All right. So this first item, soccer, will be at an index of 0, not 1. It starts at 0. So we'll have 0 for soccer, 1 for basketball, 2 football, 3 golf, and 4 baseball in a list of 5 items. So if we want football, 0, 1, 2, let's put a 2 there. And let's close the brace there, and let's print that, or let's run this. And like I said, there we go. You see football here that was printed with the index there. You also have another way, which is it's called negative indexing. And maybe some reason you want to use this, but what it'll do is it'll start from the end of the list, but that index will be -1. So baseball will be considered a -1, golf -2, football -3, basketball -4, and soccer -5. So let's say we want to start from the back here and get to golf. That would be a negative index of 2. Let's run that, and you see we have golf printed there. Got it? You could also do like a range of indexes. So let's say you want to specify like a start and an end to your range that will have multiple items in it. And you could do that with the index. We're going to use regular indexing now, not the negative indexing. So let's say I want to print basketball to golf. So we'll start at index 1. Now, the first number will include that item. So this will include basketball at 1. Then we have 2, 3. So if we want to include golf, we'll have to go to 4 because the last item will not be included in the list. So what this is saying here, sorry about that. What this is saying here is we want items 1 through 4, but 4 won't be included. So it should say basketball, football, golf. Let's run this and see what we get. And there you have it in the list. We got basketball, football, and golf. That's a way to do a range, and you could also do it with negative indexing as well. So if you want to do a negative index, let's say we want to do the exact same thing with negative, we could go, let's see, -1, -2, -3, -4. So we'll have -4 to have basketball, and then we'll go to -1, which baseball will not be included. We should get the same list there if we do the negative indexing. And there you have it, basketball, football, and golf. And one more thing I want to show you guys. Let's say in your list, you want to know if an item exists. So we can write an if statement here. And for more information on conditional statements, I have a video that you could watch on that. But we'll go if, let's say we want to know if golf is in sports. Let's print golf is in the list of sports. I would write an else statement, but since this is hard coded, I just want to show you guys that it will find this. So you can see the message here, golf is in the list of sports. So guys, that's just a quick overview of some of the basic things you could do with the list, how to create it, some functions you can write against it to get length or find an item in the list or to get a specific range in the list. So that wraps it up for today, guys. Hope you enjoyed the video, and I look forward to making the next one. Thanks.